So I do have to give thumbs up to Canadian education system. Healthcare system, it's not good. You can't really live off a minimum wage anymore. I don't allow outside factors to affect my life. So I really hope you do the same. No matter what changes in life, what changes in the world, try your best to live in a happy life.
Hi, I'm Yaji. I'm from a small town in China, and I always dreamed of a better life, so I left everything behind. After 10 years of dedication and hard work, I began to build a life that I love. Welcome to my world. I'm grateful for how far I've come, and I can't wait to share my journey with you.
What's up, guys? It's been 12 years since I moved to Canada, and many things have changed. I feel like it's time for me to share my honest opinion about benefits and drawbacks after moving to Canada. Before we start, let's talk about why I chose Canada. First, it's a cultural diversity and immigration policy. 12 years ago, Canada was really good at immigrating skilled trade workers, so they had a really good immigration policies for skilled trade people. Like me, I immigrated here as a hairdresser. Anyways, at the time, you required a 2-year school diploma and a 3-year work experience, and of course, a good English score. Not like US, it's like a lot harder to get a green card there, but in Canada, because it's a cultural diversity and it is an immigrant country, so it's not as hard as US. Second, safetiness. Canada was a lot safer 12 years ago. And globally, when I grew up, Canada had a really good reputation, and Canada had a good relationship with other countries as well. But no one has told me the weather here. But I didn't know that before I moved to Canada, so. However, I did hear a lot when I was growing up, Canadians are so nice, Canada is so beautiful, has so much land, all those good things. So it tricked me, and this Chinese girl decided to change for a better life, and she moved to Canada. What is my experience living in Canada in the past 12 years? That's a great question. How about we continue with safetiness? I do think Canada is still pretty safe compared to other countries in the world. However, recently, I do see more homeless people on the road, or people openly do drugs, like when they're just like in public. As a young woman walking on the street like that, it definitely makes me feel a little uncomfortable. It's just automatic feeling when you walk on the road and you see those kind of things. And if you watch the news, you know, like we have gunshots here and there, people go into your home and steal your stuff, and there are so many cars being stolen here as well. But honestly, I don't think it's as bad as other countries, and as long as you choose a good neighborhood to live, it's not that bad. Second, healthcare system. It's not good. I gotta say, after COVID, I'm trying my best to not going to the hospital because the waiting time is so long. I tried it once. No. I understand it's free. So when you have some sort of like operation, surgeries, like you don't have to worry about having a hospital bill to pay. But you know, you pay that through taxes, right? So if you do have a surgery, operation, you gotta know you have to wait a minimum 3 months to 1 year, and maybe sometimes 2 years. It just, it's this waiting time because we're lack of doctors, nurses, and healthcare people. They can't keep up with population. And if you wanna have a family doctor, yeah, good luck with that. I immigrated here in 2018, and right after I immigrated here, I applied and requested for a family doctor. 6 years later, I am still waiting. So at this point, I feel like the better bet would be marry my partner and use his family doctor. That's gonna be a good strategy. I'm so smart. Third, education. I personally really like education system here. College, university-wise, I know there are some people have different voices out there, but I grew up in China, so we do have some sort of society pressure to go to a university, and a good university. Like the college ones are considered like not so good level. So we do feel the pressure from our family, from our like friends and society to go to a very good university. But here, we have the flexibility to like choose whether we want to go to college or university, or even like people can take a couple years off in university and come back to finish their education later, which is very flexible, and you're not being judged whether you're having a diploma or a college degree. So I personally really like it. So I do have to give thumbs up to Canadian education system. Also nowadays, after COVID, and there are so many online programs where you can take at your comfort home from public school, which is really nice. Also, I went back to school as an adult. Government is really good at providing grants for adults who are attending college or having a skill trade diploma. So I feel like government is really like supporting returning adults to the college schools. I guess that's why I really like it. For freedom of speech, I have to say this country has done really well for people to speak freely, which is not the case in China. So I think I have changed a lot as a person, just because now I am in this society and environment that being encouraged to speak up, like your opinion, your thoughts and stuff like that. I remember when I was growing up as a kid, I wasn't really encouraged to speak up if I had different opinions, because if your opinion is not popular, most likely you'll be judged by other people. And as a kid, that's not really what you want, because it can be like a target and it can be very stressful. So normally I just kept all my opinions to myself, or even just like simple thoughts, like wants or needs, like I just kept it to myself, because I don't want anyone around me to have a different opinion of me, to like judge me or anything. So I know it sounds ridiculous, but that was the case. But as soon as I immigrated here, I learned a lot. Not immigrated here, by the way. After I moved here, I learned a lot of like sharing your opinions, sharing your wants and needs, especially in a relationship. It's very important communicating your emotions, your wants. So that wasn't the case when I was a teenager, because I was very isolated with like how I think. So I really have to give a thumbs up to free of speech in this country. But I also think it's not just Canada, it's a whole Western culture, which is a really plus side. In my opinion, because in Asian country, they're more like conservative, and they're not like you can't really speak however you want, especially to president. We all know what's going on here, but anyways, so I'm really happy that this changed me as a person in a better way. Finally, let's talk about how things have changed in this 12 years. First, cost of living is definitely gone high. And the tipping culture has changed dramatically after COVID, and we have to talk about it. So cost of living is not just gone high in Canada, it's pretty much all over the world. But Canada is bad. People cannot afford the houses. Like, you can't really live off a minimum wage anymore. That just wasn't the case 5-6 years ago, because I was getting paid a minimum wage 5-6 years ago, and I was able to live comfortably, but I can't have a lot of wants, but I was able to cover all my needs. But somehow nowadays, because rent has gone high, because people cannot afford the houses, so it's just the whole cost of living thing is a little funny. Funny isn't the word, but tipping culture. I don't understand how tipping culture have changed right, like dramatically after COVID. Before we never tip when you get a coffee, and standard of tipping is 10%. But now the minimum of tipping is 15%, and some restaurants it's 18%. And you have to tip for coffee when you're getting a coffee, and that's a minimum 15% as well. So that's something that I don't really understand. So this is definitely a huge change nowadays. Employment challenges. There are so many people out there getting laid off. Yeah. I mean, it's true. Companies have budget cut. Economy is not very strong. A lot of physical stores are shutting down. So not surprised people don't have jobs right now. Speaking of my own experience, 5-6 years ago when I was a student, it's really not that hard to find an entry-level job. Let's say waitress, cashier. As long as you're willing to put in the hours, you're willing to show up, people most likely wanting to hire you because like you're a student and they want a part-time worker. But that wouldn't be a case right now because even entry-level jobs, I feel like the employers have raised the requirement a lot higher. So even you have a degree or even master degree, it's just a lot harder to find a jobs because they do require a lot of years of experience, and especially for people who worked in the same company for so many years, being so loyal to them, and then suddenly you get laid off. It's just such an emotion shock because like, okay, well now I gotta prepare for interview and write a resume and all those kind of things. So you just I understand it's a different world, so this is definitely something that have changed in the past couple of years. Also with the AI stuff, a lot of processes, a lot of stuff are gone like with automatic, I just lost the word, but a lot of process, a lot of stuff are gone with AI. So there's no need for a lot of positions, especially repetitive positions that can be done with a robotic or AI. They just save the cost and they wouldn't hire anybody. Population. There are tons of people now in Canada. And we can't afford the houses because we have too many people and we don't have enough houses for people to afford. And rent has gone up high because they know people cannot afford the houses. So population has definitely changed a lot. Especially we have immigrated so many refugees. They need help. So I don't know. This is definitely something that we have changed. And my mom was here last summer, and first thing she said it was, well, there was so many people from different cultures. I was like, yep, we do have a lot of people from different cultures. Not just the different cultures based on skin color, different background. It's also the people who are identifying themselves. Because we all know now Canada is very free, very open. People can identify themselves whoever they want or whatever they want. So that's definitely one big change that I am still trying to adapting on my end. I don't really know how long it's gonna take me, but it's something that if I choose to leave this country, then I might have to just accept the fact. Yep. Okay, wrap it up. Enough talking. But I actually really enjoyed that I share my living experience in Canada with you guys. Things have definitely changed a lot, and I started to travel the world a little bit, so I can comfortably say that I do love where I live. I adapt the changes. I don't allow outside factors to affect my life, so I really hope you do the same. No matter what changes in life, what changes in the world, try your best to live in a happy life. And in the end, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.